All right. Good morning, everybody.
Morning.
How's everybody doing?
Great.
Awesome job with the guests. I know it's a packed room. We're going to do an awesome job. I'm going to head over there in a minute. Usually, and not that this is inclement weather, but you know, when it's a little nasty out, the guests are a lot better. Right? Usually like a snowstorm, when people come, they're like ready to go. Because they had to kind of come through a gauntlet. They had to, you know, brave the weather to come. I know the trainings are inside. It's not a parade, but still, when it gets a little rainy, people get scared. So, good job. We'll do that in a minute. We'll introduce the guest bringers. I want to talk about something real quick. So, it's funny how things come full circle, right? So, my niece, so when I got started in the business, and you know, this is a little telling of my age, but when I got started, my first appointment, the very first appointment, so I liked the business. I was like, wow, finance, compound interest, passive income, recruiting people, man, this is great. I felt like this was kind of cheat code to be able to beat the system of working in corporate America, and I hated my job. Went into an op meeting, got fired up, then came back into the, to training, and then they told me I had to set appointments. And then I got shook. I was like, wait, what? I have to call people? I have to talk to people? What are they gonna say about me? I was nervous, I was embarrassed, I just didn't know, right? So they're like, look, just set a couple appointments. And my very first appointment was my older sister. My older sister is 7 years older than me. And she went to college, UVA, graduate, six-figure income in corporate America, very smart. And I go do the appointment with my trainer. I didn't do anything. And my sister had credit card debt that she didn't understand how to pay off. She was paying it off, but aimlessly. There was no strategy. She didn't have private insurance. She needed to refinance her home. She had a high interest rate. It was a funny kind of mortgage. So we were able to develop a client, give her insurance, set up 529s for her two young daughters at the time. And fast forward, so she was my first client. The 529s that we set up for her, they used, and they're finishing college now. Okay, so my youngest niece at that time, right, or now, she's graduating from JMU. Right, so you use the 529, and she is a client here. Obviously but she has a Roth IRA, she has an insurance policy, everything. She got an internship at an accounting firm, I don't know, I think $35 an hour, just on her internship. And now she's applying for a job, and she's, she wants to go into forensic accounting. So she had an interview over the week, and she wants to, do forensic accounting. She has the interview. And she said the interview was from 11:30 to 2:30. 3 hours. She's like, yeah, they fed me and went to lunch, but it was like a real intense interview. They looked on her resume, and they were fascinated with something. They asked all the questions. What'd they ask about? Kayla's interview.
Her life insurance license.
That's all they asked about. Why do you have a life insurance license? This could really come in. They have big accounting firms. People have questions about it. They do deal on the private client side. They couldn't get over it. Like, why someone this young? They said, well, my uncle has a business and he wanted me to work with him, and he required me to get the license, and I've had it, and they were just asking all the questions about this. And so I was thinking about something. I was thinking about, kind of opening up training today. And you hear this all the time, okay? But, and I say it, you've heard it, But I really wanted to go and dive a little deep into this today, right? So the number one skill you should master or start with to get rich, right? I think there's two really important skills, but the number one, the first one that all of you, and I'm talking master, like really learn, get into it, is sales. Sales is the key to life, man. It really is. Like, if you learn how to sell, and I'm obviously there's some skills that come directly, indirectly with, I had misconceptions. I thought sales is cold calling. Now, coincidentally, that's actually how I learned how to sell. I learned how to sell on the phone. I call people. I like calling people. You dial, talk to them, you're in a quick conversation, you talk to people, you learn tonality, volume, calling people, qualifying people, inviting people, you learn the numbers, all of it. But that's what I thought sales was. No, sales is a lot more involved than that. Almost every interaction, and I made this very generic because I'm not talking about our business. Now, obviously, all of these apply to our business, but I wanted to show, how selling, how marketing, customer acquisition, and the strategies that we use for those affect every area of your life, right? Every interaction that progresses your life is a sales interaction. You convince someone to date you or marry you, right? I had to sell that. No, I mean it. I'm not, why? Right? I'm broke. I had to sell a dream. I had to sell a vision. I'm being serious, but hey, this is where I'm going. This is what we're going to do. This is what life's going to look like. That was a sell job. Now for me, as a salesperson, I want to have integrity, so I want to do what I say I'm going to do, and I did that. And we're not finished yet, but that's a sell. Hire a great, forget Primerica. You want to hire somebody. You want to get someone to start a business with you. That's a sell. You want a business partner. Create friends who want to be around you. That's marketing. Raise money for a real estate investment. I'm just throwing stuff out there, right? A business. Convince a customer to obviously buy from you. Get a raise, get a new job. A lot of people, they have no skills when it comes to people. It's okay, you can learn them. But life is very hard if you don't understand persuasion, people skills, questions. I'm going to go through some other skills. In the op meeting, I always go over this, right? Every single training I do this. I said, revenues, I was an accountant in college, revenues minus expenses is profits, right? The problem with companies is they want to keep profits up. How do you do that? Increase revenues, decrease expenses. The biggest expense of any company is payroll, by far. That's the biggest overhead. And companies, all they do, every meeting, every conference call, every shareholder meeting, all they're doing is discussing how to keep these expenses as low as possible. And they are smart. They're using technology. They're using ageism. They're using globalization. They're using virtual assistants. Now they're talking about AI, right? All they're doing is trying to keep expenses down, and they're not talking about the light bill or long distance. They're firing people. They're laying people off. They're shutting down stores. And so you are in a war against your company. It's not a conflict, it's a war. They're trying to eliminate your position and reduce. Everybody wants to make more money, and they don't want to pay any of them more money. But you can beat the game. Forget this business. If you learn how to bring revenue to a company, you're invaluable. Because the people that bring revenue to the company, they make the whole company operate. See, everybody sales, and they kind of look down. Salespeople pay the entire company. They pay the CEO. They pay the engineers. They pay the accountants. They pay the software developers. If people are not writing checks and buying from the company, which is the mission of salespeople, creating revenue for the companies don't run. These are skills I learned because of sales. You forget, obviously, learning how to get a client and present and all that stuff, but I learned negotiation skills. I learned building and maintaining relationships. Active listening. Right? How to listen to somebody, how to hear something, how to log information. Use that later. Find out a hot button. Find out a pain point. Find out a negative experience. Most people, they never listen to anybody. Building rapport, common ground. You know, why? Because I've been in a lot of situations where I've had to meet different types of people with different thoughts, different beliefs, different backgrounds. And you have to establish some common ground. Oh, I grew up here. I went to this college. Oh, I read that book. Oh, I used to work there. I knew somebody that worked there. Reading people. Wow. I mean, you know, you can identify different personality types. You can predict behavior because you know what they're going to do. Because I know based on your personality type, you're going to operate out of, you're a risk taker. Or you operate out of fear, you're conservative. And so you know how to, and I know a lot of people think this is a bad word, but you know how to manipulate the situation to get the client what they want. And obviously you understand. This has translated in every area of my life. With my wife, with my kids, with my parents, with my sisters, with my family, with my extended family, right? I am somebody that gels everything together. Why? Because I've learned people skills. I wasn't born like this. Perseverance, willpower, right? I learned that through selling. We have targets, we have goals. You want to make 5 sales? You think you're going to just talk to 5 people? No, you know I got to talk to 15. 10 are going to say no. You're already built in. I understand. Man, it's not 100. It's 8531. It's not 8888. How am I going to handle the 5 no's? How am I going to handle the rejections? How am I going to handle people not calling me back? Man, that built a lot, man. You know, most people, they avoid failure. You understand if you're successful, and I learned this through selling, failure is a key to success. See, most people think what? The opposite of success is failure. That's not true. Failure is the key to success. The opposite of success is not trying. That's the problem. Lifelong learning, right? Like, you know, that's one thing. There's always new strategies. There's new people. You know, like we get people, they're new in the business and they're killing it, and you can learn. There's always new books. There's always new methods. You know, some people, it's so funny. They really think like their cup is full. You can't put any water into it because they're already full. They know everything. I'm broke, but I know everything.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, I love that we learn and we teach, and you hear different people, and you're like, wow, okay, you know, this curiosity that just comes, you know, it permeates through you because you just always want to learn. That's why we're here this morning. Time management. Oh my gosh. You know, people squander their time, man. You can do it all if you manage your time properly. I learned that too. Creativity through fellowship. What do I mean by that? I have unlocked the creative wavelengths, or whatever you want to call my brain, through following other people. I learn from other people, leaders in the industry, leaders in our business. Gives me examples of, man, I can do this. It gives a belief. And then you're not stuck. When you're stuck, that's when you feel helpless. And then the biggest thing for me, work ethic. I'll send it out. There's this YouTube clip somebody sent to me, and it's of Jeff Bezos. And Amazon at that time had a $30 billion net worth, or $30 billion worth valuation. And he was estimated $10 billion. And they're interviewing him in a car. And this looks like, it's probably early 2000s, but it looks like it's like 1951. The video, it's just like, I don't know if there's ever like 100. I know there's like 720, 3, but it's like 100. Like I don't even know. Like it was the worst quality video. And the guy's interviewing, he's like, man, it seems like you have a $10 billion net worth. And he goes, I gotta ask, and Bezos is driving. He goes, I gotta ask, why are we in a Honda? He goes, why are we in a Honda? And he goes on to say, think about $10 billion net worth. 10 billion. And this is based on the video where 10 billion is probably like 100 billion. Right? And then he goes on to just talk about, I don't have time because I'm working and I'm trying to accomplish something. And you think like, because of the industry that we're in, you get to see other people and how hard they work. And it's not demeaning, it's not off-putting, it's inspiring. Right? I used to see it a little bit with athletes. You see these people that are going to go to college and you see how they are in the weight room. You're like, wow. Not like you, Andre. Those little weights. Shondell can teach you. Not me anymore. No, Andre's a crazy dude in the weight room. Right? Don't work out with him. You'll be injured like me. I tried to mess with him last Saturday. I gotta go to the event, see ya. Great. Incredible. But, why are we here this morning? Why'd you get up? We work hard. Right? They call it in success, you gotta pay the price here. That means what? You gotta put the work in. Sales is not for lazy people. If you're lazy, get a job at the post office. I mean it. Yeah, we gotta hunt to eat, right? We're up late. We wake up early. Every day we're thinking about production, income, because everybody eats off of what we do. My entire family, my entire business, my entire company is built on this absolute focus of working hard, making more money. And I love it. Right? We're just not content and complacent. And the cool thing here is, yes, you can have a job. Yes, you can do a part-time, but you can adopt some of these qualities. Amen. Right? So here's some hacks. Number one, show a genuine interest in people. Right? This is a sales I thought it was all talking. No, ask questions, listen really well. If you are actually interested in people, people will buy from you. 2, if people are listening to you, they'll like you, they'll feel understood. Next one, add as much value as possible, right? I think of people like our most productive agent, Sheila. Man, she is this too. This is her definition. This is her to a core. She's always trying to add value, whether it be a referral or a connection or knowledge or do something for you. When her clients come into the office, because I ask them, right? And they'll say, yeah, Sheila helped me with this. And I'm like, huh? She helped me figure out my policy. Obviously that's very, but she showed me somebody that can help me get an apartment. What did Sheila do? Right? But do you ever do that, Sheila? Do you help people? Because she wants to provide value. Because if you provide value for people, they want to do things for you. And you're not doing it with just money in your mind. You're doing it to help somebody, and when you help somebody, they will help you. It's a law of reciprocity, right? Don't think about money. Don't think about the commission. If you make money, it's not because you took, it's because a lot of people think that in sales. They think that if you make money, you did something, there was a negative thing for somebody else. That's not true. That's why we don't demonize rich people, because someone got rich, they didn't take your money. We really think that, and some people actually, they want you to think that. Like, man, this person made money because he stole or she stole from you. That's not true. They added value. You can copy them. You can, simulate their behavior, and you will have the same money they did. And I know a few really successful people, they're actually really willing to teach you. They'll sit down with you. Because it makes people feel good to override other people's success. And they know money, success is unlimited. It's not limited. Oh, let me not share this. No. So here are some books. I didn't type recommend like that. That was probably Thomas. But I read good. We'll send this out, but these are some of the books that I recommend. I love reading books about sales. I really do. I think that's the first part. That's where you should start, right? I said two skills you should to master to get rich. This is the first one. The second one would be leadership. I think people need to lead, and that's a whole different thing. It starts with selling. Belief in your product, time management, all this. These are the books that had the biggest impact on me. Ziglar on Selling by Zig Ziglar, great book on just what it's like to be a professional salesperson. Give me 1 second, I'll answer the questions. The Psychology of Selling, Brian Tracy, phenomenal. How to Master the Art of Selling, Tom Hopkins. So I had, like I said, a lot of misconceptions about selling, and when I read this book, I realized selling was asking questions, and that there is an art, and there are, I'm just going to make this up, but 20 different types of questions. Like, meaning how you formulate. Obviously, there's millions of questions you can ask, but there's, techniques and strategies on tie-down questions, commitment questions, open-ended questions, closing questions, thought-provoking questions. And if you, learn all these questions, you can be a great sales professional. And then Secrets of Closing the Sale, Zig Ziglar, and that is a book of all closes. It's all closing. So it gives you, all these, a library of just saying stuff, because people, you hear this all the time, people have things that they're going to say. It's natural, and if you can overcome it, you'll get the sale. But if they have something that you can't overcome, you're going to miss the sale. And if you make more sales, you make more money. If you miss more sales, you go broke. And if you can learn how to close people, this business, or like other businesses, but definitely this business, it's an ATM machine. You can take money out whenever you want. We were talking, because Saturday is a big pay cycle, right? I mean, Saturday is we get paid on Saturday, right? And Saturday is, it pays almost all lines of business, right? Investments, so like we always talk, right? And like, hey, how much you make today? 3,000, 3,600, 4,200, right? 5,100 in the morning, right? So people wonder why we're so excited. We got paid this morning, right? Now, if someone makes a lot of money and, Samir makes this much and I make less, then yeah, I might be a little upset, Happy for him, but, upset at him at the same time, right? But we get it because we look and we're like, wow, 5,100, 6,100, 7,000, 7,500 in a morning.